I'd seen a lot of odd things in my small workshop. Rusted farm equipment, broken down engines, ancient tools that looked like they'd survived the apocalypse. But nothing prepared me for the day an alien warrior woman walked through my door, holding a weapon I couldn't even begin to comprehend. It started like any other day. The smell of oil and metal filled the air as I tinkered with an old carburetor. That's when the bell above my workshop door rang, and I looked up to greet the customer. She wasn't a customer. She was otherworldly. She stood over 6 feet tall, her silvery blue skin shimmering under the fluorescent lights. Her eyes glowed, faintly gold, sharp and piercing. She wore dark armor that looked both elegant and deadly, glowing faint patterns running along the seams. In her hands was something, a weapon, I assumed, that looked like a fusion of technology and art. It pulsed with an eerie blue light, like it was alive. "Are you lost?" I stammered. Her expression was unreadable, her voice calm, yet commanding. "You are Aaron Blackwell, the master mechanic of this region." I blinked. I'm Aaron, and I fix engines and clocks. So, maybe not a master mechanic." She strode forward and placed the weapon on my workbench. Up close, I could see it was damaged, fractured casing, exposed wires, and something that looked like glowing liquid seeping through the cracks. "This weapon has been damaged," she said. "Only you can repair it." I stared at the thing, dumbfounded. "Lady, I don't even know what that is." "It is called the Saren Blade, and if you do not repair it, this world may fall." I sat down, trying to gather my thoughts. "Okay, slow down. Who are you? What's this about the world falling?" She sighed and leaned back, as if the weight of her explanation was exhausting. "I am Kayla Vryn, a warrior of the Clyery. My people protect worlds like yours from those who seek to conquer them. The Saren Blade is a weapon of great power, forged with energy cores beyond your understanding. It was damaged in battle, and without it, I cannot defend this world." My brain struggled to keep up. "Defend? Earth? From who?" "The Draven Fleet," she said. "A war-hungry faction who conquer planets, strip them of resources, and leave them desolate. They're on their way here." I stood up, running a hand through my hair. "This is insane. I'm just a mechanic. Why would you think I can fix this thing?" She stared at me, her golden eyes unwavering. "Because you have the gift." "The what?" Kayla tilted her head slightly. "The ability to see machines not as objects, but as puzzles. Pieces that fit together perfectly if one knows how to listen. You have repaired countless machines, brought them to life. The Saren Blade is no different. It is simply more advanced." I looked back at the weapon. It hummed faintly, like it was breathing. "I don't know." She stepped closer, her voice softer now. "You can do this, Aaron. I would not have come to you if I believed otherwise." I couldn't say no. Maybe it was the desperation in her voice. Maybe it was the realization that if I didn't try, this world might actually be in danger. Whatever the case, I grabbed my tools and got to work. The Saren Blade wasn't just a weapon. It was a marvel of engineering. Its casing was made of something that wasn't metal, yet it was stronger than steel. Inside, the components pulsed with energy like a heartbeat. I'd never seen anything like it, yet somehow Kayla was right. It felt like a puzzle. As I worked, she hovered nearby, explaining bits of its design. "The energy core must remain stable. If it fractures, the blade will be lost. Use precision. No pressure, right?" I soldered wires with a steady hand, realigned fractured plating, and replaced conduits that looked fried. Kayla handed me strange tools, things that looked like they belonged in a science fiction movie, but I used them instinctively. It was as if the blade wanted to be fixed. Hours passed. I lost track of time. My hands ached, but I didn't stop. Finally, the weapon let out a loud hum, its energy core glowing a vibrant blue. The patterns along its edge lit up like veins of lightning. "It's done," I whispered, stepping back. Kayla picked up the blade, her expression unreadable. She activated it, and a beam of energy extended from its edge, humming like the sound of a tuning fork. The air crackled with power. "You have done it," she said, awe in her voice. "The Saren blade lives." I barely had time to celebrate before the ground shook. "What the hell was that?" I shouted. Kayla's expression darkened. "They are here." Outside, the sky burned red as ships descended, massive and ominous. I watched in disbelief as alien crafts, sleek and sharp like black daggers, hovered over the town, firing beams of energy that tore through buildings. Kayla turned to me, her golden eyes fierce. "Stay here. This is not your fight." "Like hell it isn't," I said, grabbing a wrench. She smiled faintly. "You are braver than I expected." The battle outside was chaos. Kayla moved like a storm, her Saren blade cutting through the invaders with a grace and fury I couldn't describe. I ran behind her, throwing tools and parts at any enemy that got too close. I even smashed one with my wrench, which admittedly felt pretty good. "Behind you!" I shouted as a Draven soldier aimed at her. Kayla spun, deflecting the blast and slicing him down in one fluid motion. Finally, Kayla raised the Saren blade high. Energy rippled through the air, and with a deafening pulse of light, the enemy ships shattered, their fragments falling like fiery rain. The Draven fleet retreated. Earth was saved. When it was over, Kayla stood beside me, the Saren blade humming softly in her hands. "You have my gratitude, Arn Blackwell. Without you, this world would have fallen." I grinned, still catching my breath. "Not bad for a small-town mechanic, huh?" She smirked. "Not bad at all." Kayla turned to leave, her repaired ship waiting for her. Before boarding, she glanced back at me. "Should you ever wish to see the stars, Arn, there will always be a place for you among the Clyri." With that, she disappeared into the ship, and I watched as it shot into the sky, leaving a streak of light behind. I looked down at my wrench, still in hand, and shook my head. Guess I'm not just a mechanic anymore. As the stars twinkled above, I wondered if I'd ever see her again. And somehow, I knew this wouldn't be the last time I'd fix something extraordinary. Because the universe had a funny way of finding people like me.